What's up, guys and gals, and welcome to VV Vibes, where I love talking all things VV NFTs, speculation, and of course the market. So, in my honest opinion, I do think that the VV villains are very undervalued for where they are now. Now, I'm not a huge fan of using that term undervalued because it's very speculative, very ambiguous, and people's timeline for what things are undervalued is different to everyone, whether it's 6 months, a year, whatever it is, but that could almost dictate its own video, which I might make at some point. But regardless, I'm going to get back to the task at hand. I mostly base this on just the number of mints of just the heroes versus the villains. And on top of that, I think a lot of people forget that the villains are actually the gatekeepers to completing these sets. And if there are a lot of true fans that have not gotten on the app yet, or Immutable X or OpenSea, sometime from now, people that are huge fans of these franchises are at the very least going to want to buy the superhero as well as like the main antagonist or the main villain of the IP. So, and again, none of this is financial advice. I'm not telling you guys to rush to buy these NFTs right now, because I will admit some of these NFTs have pumped pretty recently, but just keep an eye on them during the next dip or the next retracement, especially when VV makes a huge announcement that I think a lot of people are waiting for over the next couple weeks. So we'll go ahead and jump into it. The first one is actually the Ito in the Ultraman series. So there's 19,500 total mints of Ultraman figures, though that doesn't include the posters, but there's only 1,950 Itos, which means there's exactly 1/10 of the amount of Itos compared to Ultraman. So people that look to complete the set, or at the very least buy one Ultraman and one of the main antagonists, Ito, they're going to have to buy both, and there's very limited amount. So that's my first one, which is Ito. All right, and the next one is a Marvel Mighty set. These numbers got so big, all I did was just round them up, to be honest. There's 89,000 Marvel Mighty variations of Captain America that exists on VV, but there's only 4,888 mints of Red Skull. So there's less than 5,000 Red Skulls and almost 90,000 versions of Captain America. So that's exactly 1/18 of the amount, or something around there, which means there's not a whole lot of Red Skulls to go around. So if people want to complete the set, they're pretty much bottlenecked by Red Skull, or if they want to buy one Marvel Mighty as well as a Red Skull, they're pretty much going to have to pay a premium for that. So this one, I think, is Red Skull. All right, and this next one is also a Marvel Mighty set. So there's 93,000 Fantastic Four Marvel Mighties, but there's only 4,999 Doctor Dooms, which means that's exactly, or roughly about 1/18 of the amount as well. So I think people are very nostalgic for both Red Skull and Doctor Doom. I do think the whole Fantastic Four set completing is much more important, because I'm not sure people are a huge fan of completing all the different variations of Captain America, but if people are Fantastic Four fans, they will want to complete that set, and I do think Doctor Doom is probably the biggest bottleneck when it comes to actually completing that set, on top of the fact that he's also an ultra rare, so people are gonna have to pay a premium. All right, and last but not least, and I'm not doing this one because obviously it has the biggest discrepancy between heroes and villains, which is not the case. It's the Black and White series, which I think is season 1, definitely one of the most popular and most coveted NFTs that currently exists on the platform. There is actually 59,000 different variations of Batman. I didn't include the Batman Who Laughs, who's technically a villain, but he never also fights Batman, so I think he's kind of in a league of its own, so I kind of left those mints out. Plus, there's a ton of them. There's like 17,000. But so there's 59,000 different Batmans, but there's only 10,750 Jokers. So if people want to buy, I realize there's variations of different sets and series in the Black and White, but if people want to basically buy Batman as well as a Joker, who's like the #1 antagonist of Batman, you basically can't think of Batman or Joker without the other. There's less than 11,000 mints of Joker, which is a huge deal. And there's even less mints of things like the FA Harley Quinn, and Penguin being the lowest at actually 3,250. So I do think Jokers will definitely go up in price at some point. Just with the comparison, people that are true Batman fans were always, I would think, are going to buy at least some variation of Batman as well as the Joker right next to it. And so again, I'm not saying that you guys should rush out and go ahead and buy these NFTs, because again, I do think a lot of these have gone up pretty recently. Wait for a dip. Try and keep your eye on them. And in my personal opinion, I do think some of these villains are going to give you a higher % return than some of the superheroes. And on top of that, they're pretty much gatekeepers. Some of them, especially the ultra rare versions for like the Marvel Mighties, as well as like Ultraman, they are gatekeepers to completing these sets. And people are going to want at some point to buy the hero as well as the villain as well. And that's pretty much it, guys. If there's any villains that I missed, put that down in the comments below. I don't think that I did, but I would love to hear what you guys think about the villains. Do you guys think that some of these villains could actually surpass some of the higher end superhero mints? I do think a combination between their low mints, their relevance to the story, and the fact that they are needed to complete a lot of these sets, I do think some of these villains could actually surpass a lot of the higher end superheroes, if not even surpass them altogether. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys take care, and I'll catch you on the flip side.